everyone, welcome back to The Current, the quick response news program from Jockey Club TE College,
where we report on the latest issues, events, and culture. I'm Mark.
And I'm Selena. Yes, this is my baby brother. So Mark, what do you know about trade war?
War? You mean like how we fight at home?
No, stupid. Trade war.
Boring, nothing to do with me.
You are so wrong about that. Look at this.
What do you think of when you hear the word war? Is it this? Or maybe this? Well, there's a different type of war you may have heard a lot about recently.
Trade war worries igniting.
Is the trade war back on?
Trade war, full-blown trade war.
The weapons in a trade war are everywhere. It's the food you eat, the train you ride to work, and the laptop you're probably watching this video on.
As a consumer, you're probably consuming imports. If we have a trade war and we start slapping tariffs on all of those imports, the bill is going to be higher.
If the world relies so much on trade, what is a trade war? And why do countries get caught up in them in the first place? Alright, global trade can be a dry topic, so let's jazz this up a little bit. To avoid any spoilers, let's say it's season 1 of Game of Thrones, and both the Tyrell and the Lannister kingdoms manufacture googly eyes. The Tyrells then start to subsidize googly eye manufacturing in their kingdom. That basically means that the Tyrells are paying at least part of the cost of manufacturing, reducing the cost for buyers. The Lannisters are understandably upset. Why would anyone want to buy their more expensive product? They could try and negotiate with the Tyrells, or they could choose to impose tariffs, taxes on imports that raise the cost of those goods, which in this case would punish the Tyrells. With the tariffs in place, if the Tyrells try to export goods to the Lannisters, they'd have to pay an extra tax. The Tyrells could then impose tariffs of their own. Now, if this disagreement goes back and forth and escalates with even more tariffs, that would be considered a trade war.
Who cares? Like I said, nothing to do with me.
Are you kidding me? Didn't you just watch that? What kind of phone do you have? Let me see.
iPhone, you know that.
Well, stupid, this can totally affect you. It just said that. Mom might not be able to buy you a new iPhone if the prices go up too much. They could get too expensive.
You call me stupid again, I'll tell Mom.
You wouldn't dare. Anyhow, here's more about iPhones.
Most components that make up the iPhone, like the touchscreen display, memory chips, and microprocessors come from American, Japanese, Korean, and Taiwanese companies. Intel, Sony, Samsung, and Foxconn. None of the parts manufactured in China. Apple buys the components, ships them to China, while China exports the fully assembled iPhones. Yet, these appear as imports from China on its trade balance with the US.
What Apple has is the design, the marketing, the distribution. It places the order, but it doesn't produce anything. That's why Apple is so profitable. It doesn't put its money into plants and equipment and labor force. It controls the distribution network. And that's where all the money is being made.
But could America really gain much from manufacturing iPhones on their soil? A closer look reveals the true picture. The factory cost of an iPhone is around $237, an estimate from IHS Markit when iPhone 7 was released in late 2016. American parts make up the largest share of the total, with just $8.46 or 3.6% of that cost actually going to China.
If in fact there is a tariff of 25%, so Apple will be scrambling to assemble it elsewhere. Now who do you think will benefit if that happens? South Korea, Galaxy. Samsung would be a huge beneficiary, right? Because all of a sudden iPhones will become 25% more expensive in the US.
Okay, I get it.
A trade war is a war between countries where they charge extra money on goods made in the other country.
Tariffs. The extra charges are called tariffs.
They could totally affect the prices of iPhones and many more items.
Why is there a trade war between America and China in the first place?
Trump. And don't get Mr. Scott going on this.
In April, President Trump unveiled a list of over 1,000 Chinese exports, things like aircraft parts, TVs, and medical devices, that he planned to place tariffs on as a way to punish Beijing for restricting US investment in China and for stealing American intellectual property. The very next day, China struck back, unveiling its own list of US exports that it planned to place tariffs on. Since then, Trump has threatened another round of tariffs, with China ready to respond with its own additional tariffs.
So he started the trade war to punish China, but we're the ones who have to pay for it.
Correct. I wonder if students know about this.
Let's ask.
Have you heard about the US-China Trade War?
Yes.
No.
What have you heard about?
China and America fighting.
No.
No.
No, I haven't.
Yes, I have. The trade war is about the war between China and US, and they are increasing the taxes and something else.
What are they fighting about?
They are fighting about money on different things.
Are you using any American products right now, like iPhone or Nike?
Yes, I have Nike shoes and MacBook.
Yes, I have Nike shoes.
I am wearing Nike clothes.
Yes, I have a Nike running shoes.
Pair of Nike shoes.
Yes, I have a pair of Nike running shoes and t-shirt.
If the prices increase 25%, would your parents still buy you Nike shoes or clothing?
Don't think so.
No, because I think there are many products better than Nike,
Like what?
like Adidas and Puma.
If the prices increase 25%, would your parents still buy a Nike shoes for you?
I think no, they will think it is too expensive. I don't think so, because it might be too expensive.
No, I don't think so. We're poor.
No, of course not, because there are so many import goods from the other countries. I can just buy another brand.
Then what would they buy?
I think they will just buy things from other countries.
Do you have an iPhone?
No.
No.
No, no, I don't.
I'm using Android.
No, I don't, but I have a MacBook.
Did you buy it yourself or your parents buy it?
I bought it myself.
If their parents can't buy it, how can I?
Forget saving up from your allowance.
Mom doesn't give me enough anyhow.
Well, if you wouldn't keep wasting it.
Yeah. So who benefits from a trade war? We are the losers.
It's also rude. Tariffs on China, tariffs on the US, we pay.
Man, and I really wanted a new pair of Jordans. What am I supposed to do now?
Just buy another brand made in Vietnam.
Yeah, right.
Anyhow, that's all for this episode of The Current.
Thanks for watching and see you next time.